Attention! This is a concert review. If you do not wish to continue, click the back button on your browser now. And for the 3 of you still remaining, this is Slayer Fan for Life 88, coming at you live from an undisclosed location after the more interesting of Slayer shows that this concert goer has ever been to. You know, curiously enough, in Utah, which still shocks me, even though everybody says that there's a following, and obviously there was, because they had a concert here, and downtown Salt Lake is a bunch of heavy metal shops and all that stuff, and record stores stocked with heavy metal albums, but still kind of weird. But yeah, so the venue used to be Mormon hangout church type of deal that burned down twice, and the new building is for concerts, and it's actually not bad because it's small, but they got an upper deck that people can watch all around, so that's kind of cool. And there's a bar up there, so guys don't want to get hit can go get drunk and be a terror on the roads. That's a great idea. Sarcasm aside, but yeah. So Slayers played for the first time in a long time in Mormon country, and no, that's not a shot. I don't do that on this channel because we don't discuss those things. I will not do it. You guys should know that, and gals should know that. So let's get into it. Exodus started off, and I was actually curious as to how Gary Holt would handle having to do double duty, and he pulled it off well because of the way that everything was set up. And Exodus went first, Suicidal went second, and of course we know who tore up what was left of the audience. But some of the songs, both Exodus and Suicidal played only 6 songs, and notable ones from Exodus were Bonded by Blood, Pariah, and closing with my favorite song by them, Toxic Balls. That got the pit moving. It was awesome. They were amazing. Suicidal, though, for me, was the band of the night. That was the band I was most excited to see. I hadn't seen them before. I'd seen Exodus before, and of course I've seen Slayer many, many times, but hadn't seen them before, and they don't really tour in the west of the United States very often, so I was really excited to see them. Been a fan of them for years, and really dig their stuff. They opened with You Can't Bring Me Down, and they played the songs that I wanted to hear. Trip at the Brain, they played it. Played Psycho Vision, which is awesome. That was actually my introduction to Suicidal, but I didn't know it yet because it was in the video game Tony Hawk's Pro Skater way back when. For those of you that remember the heyday of the N64 and PlayStation. But War in My Head, I Saw Your Mommy, Pledge Your Motherfucking Allegiance. That was their set. And, oh yeah, you need to ship something? Take FedExodus to deliver us to evil. Caught that from Gary Holt. And that'll go with my, that'll go on my Blinded by Blood album. But we're now at the point where it gets a little weird again. Because, you know, like I've said, I still believe that Utah to be a strange place for a heavy metal concert, especially see Slayer. And what is with these girls that show up at these shows and have, and you know, not just their hang-ons to the boyfriends. You know, these they don't have a clue, and that's just really strange. You know, to add to the weirdest, something was rather disgusting that I will not go into because it's sick. But I don't understand it. I mean, it pretties up the place, of course, but it's a little weird when very few of them actually know the music, and a lot of them don't have a clue. Even if they knew the music, they don't have a clue as to what's going on. So, what are you gonna do? It's like just I don't get it. It's just a lot of the women in the pit at metal shows just it doesn't make sense. Not that they shouldn't be there or anything. It's just that it makes it a lot more difficult to be moving around because they're either some of them shouldn't be there because they can't take it, and they actually had to escort two ladies out. There's also the fact that you got the little people and the little kids, down there that shouldn't be. I mean, I know that I'm not a big guy. I'm not a big dude or anything like that. I can handle my own though. If I get the positioning, I'm right on the rail, which I was again, and I got some really cool shots of Gary Holt and Psycho Myko, and I'm going to be uploading those when I get back. But it's like I don't get it. There's it's violent, brutal places, and the wimps out. Now, let's go to the casualties. I handled myself because this was a really weak crowd because there was a lot of girls and there was just a lot of fucking pussies. Utah proved they love their metal, but there are a lot of fucking pussies. I mean, I usually am not able to do the pushing and shoving to get my space and keep it, and I usually have to make my own adjustments and fight for every crevice to be able to breathe and stay vertical. I had no problems this time, and there were big guys that were pushing and shoving and trying to get to the front, and I just went, and I kept them out and kept my spot. And that's never happened before. Got moved down a little bit, but didn't. I didn't have the problems that I usually have. Didn't have the problems I had in San Jose, for example. That crowd got really rowdy. This one, I wanted more. You know, especially the fact that they haven't played there in so long. I want more. Let it go, guys. Let your anger out. Let's get some adrenaline. Let's, you know, throw some elbows. Come on. Wasn't happening. You know, but you know, of course, the show was amazing, and that always makes up for anything. Uh, Security is another issue that seems to pop up. Uh, Getting in wasn't a real big issue because they let us line up a couple hours before we showed up about 3 o'clock. Gates opened at 6. They let us line up, and those over 21 got to enter in through the bar and stay on the balcony, which is proof of that. I don't drink, so I wasn't taking advantage of that, but it was the weather was really weird. It was a nice day today, but we had a lot of rain earlier in the day. It came down in sheets earlier, but it was warm up there, so that was really nice. And got in, got down, and when they opened everything, got my spot and stayed. So that was really cool. But the security dudes, a lot of them were no bigger than I am. I'm 5'6", 130 pounds, 135 pounds. Maybe 137 soaking wet. With all this back here. But they were about my size, most of them, to handle security. That was a little weird because you can't really do the job. As most of you will know, I've got nerve damage in the left hand, so that would put me at a disadvantage. But still, you're not going to be able to handle the people coming over, the big dudes coming over, and the assholes that push to the front, and they're too big to do crowd surfing, but are doing it anyway because they're assholes. And the women that have to be dealt with, with special care because for obvious reasons, and then they had these, first time I'd seen them, they had special guys just for the pit crew that were supposed to help with all that. The girls were pushing them around. The girls were pushing the pit security around. The fuck? Huh? I don't know. Kind of weird. So, it's pretty much like, huh? I don't get it. But that's what's happening. It's a lot of very strange, weird stuff. A lot of strange stuff. The whole thing was great. There was a lot of strange stuff that I like. Well, I'll put it this way. I saw a lot of stuff happen tonight at this venue that doesn't happen at other venues that I've seen Slayer at. The bigger ones, the smaller ones, like San Jose, that stuff didn't. The stuff that went on tonight didn't happen. It's probably. I don't know. Maybe they weren't prepared for it. I don't know, but it was a lot of weirdness going on. But let's get to why anybody's still watching. If you haven't shut this off already, Slayer set list. They open with Hell Awaits. Last concert, I videoed that whole opening song and put it on my other channel. Didn't do that this time because they played this. It was basically the same thing with the inverted crosses on that. Really cool, but what they did, their set list. Open Up Hell Awaits. This isn't in order. This is just how I wrote them down. Hell Awaits, Chemical Warfare, Capture Sin, Antichrist, Die by the Sword, uh, Raining Blood into Black Magic, South of Heaven, Mandatory Suicide, One Ensemble, Dead Skin Mask, Hollowed Point, Seasons, Altar Sacrifice, Jesus Saves, Postmortem, At Dawn They Sleep, Necrophiliac, favorite song, Angel of Death. Basically the same set that they did on their last tour, previous tours, so it's almost like they're becoming a nostalgia act to a certain extent. I don't want that. They didn't play their new song, which I'm kind of glad, because I don't think it's all there yet, and I don't think that the album, all of their music needs time to grow on me, but this one especially more so, especially since I really liked World Painted Blood, and they're continuing with the same theme that they already did with the song Implode. And they already explored that. They explored that with the Final Six. They explored that with World Painted Blood, because that was the whole theme of their album. World Painted Blood was end of the world, destruction, all that. And it was cool before the Mayan apocalypse. That obviously didn't happen because I'm sitting here talking to you. But it was cool then. It's kind of getting tired now. And don't take this as a diss on Slayer. It's like, they need to do some changes so that they don't become a nostalgia, because that would just be terrible for that to happen to them, because they're there's a video bomb by they I hope that doesn't happen to them, because they're too important of a band, they're too great of a band, and they're such an amazing band live for that to happen to them. I hope it doesn't. I hope that's not what we're seeing with continuing. It's a great set list of older songs. I like those albums. Definitely, I like them. I like Show No Mercy to Seasons more than anything else in their catalog. And of course, anybody would say the same thing, unless you're an idiot. If you like those other albums, that's fine. I do too. I'm not dissing on anybody, but clearly their best material is from 83 to 90. And they released good albums, but not to that level. But everybody sounded really good. Paul is back in the band. He's on point with his drumming. Gary is Gary, and he's awesome. Gary Holt is, holding down the fort, carrying the torch, whatever he's doing. It's just awesome. He works really well. I've seen him several times with at least 3 times with Slayer now, and he's awesome. He's a great guitarist. It's just listen to Bonded by Blood if nobody believes me. But and Tom's vocals were really, really strong. They were just awesome. But it's not those 4 guys, and the 4 guys that I'm talking about. Saw on Facebook a while back. Don't idolize your dead heroes, referencing Jeff. And I agree. Don't do that, because his death and Dio's death fucked me up more than anything. Outside of family members dying, people in my real life, that I actually knew dying. They, outside of that example, those 2 deaths have fucked me up the most. And but it's like, you gotta, you grieve and you move on. And they as a band need to do that. because there's no point. They did that tour, the Honor Jeff Hanneman. They did that. They've done that already. That was, they did that. They did that last year. Maybe because it was Utah, they were doing it for that reason. But it's cool. But yeah, we know Jeff. Jeff is awesome. But that chapter in Slayer is done. I believe that the real Slayer is done. That's not a knock on anybody. That's not a knock on any other band member or anybody in, has played with them. It's just that there's a special magic when those four guys played their music, whether it would be on the record or live. And if any of you have seen the original lineup, you'll know what I'm talking about. Go YouTube, buy a movie, or stream it or whatever. You can definitely tell. But there's a magic, and all respect to Gary Holt and to Paul. It's not the same. And the stuff they were doing last year with the other drummer that immediately replaced David. I forget his name now because I'm fading. But he did awesome too. I saw clips from Australia when they were touring down there last year, and they were amazing. They were amazing, but it's not the same. Some bands can lose members, replace them, and go on. And Slayer's done that, but it's not the same. It's good, because they're talented musicians. They know their stuff, and they're amazing players. But it's not the same. It truly isn't, in my opinion. You may agree, disagree, but that's my take on it. And I just, I'm hoping against hope that they don't continue to do this. Whether it's now they got to shift focuses because of a new record label and a new album and all that other stuff. They got to shift their focus and and work to to better places, bigger and better, because nostalgia dies, and for them to become that would just absolutely, that would break my black heart, so to speak, because they're one of my favorites. They're one of the greatest, and I don't want to see that happen. That would make me sick if that was to happen. We've already seen that they're starting to become their own brand, which it's not really a good thing either. But to wrap this up, showed the pic. Here's a couple T-shirts. I almost got the Slayer Nation jersey. Didn't want to spend $100, and I can buy that off their website later. This is a bootleg T-shirt. This design was actually used by them last year. Picked this up only because it had all three bands on it, which I wanted a shirt with all three bands because I'll probably never be able to see Suicidal Tendencies again, unless I go to the East Coast, and I don't know if I'm gonna do that as of right now. But you can tell, you probably won't be able to tell through the video, but you look up close at this shirt, which is a bootleg, and you look at a real official shirt, you can tell the difference in the printing. You can definitely tell looking at it this was amateurish, but wanted to have it because for some reason they don't have official shirts with all three bands on it. Now I get that with um, I get that with Suicidal and with Exodus and with Slayer because all three of them are established bands. Uh, Last year though with Gojira and Forearm, when I saw them, they didn't have one. They had it on a bootleg, so I got that. I actually got a couple. Uh, I got a couple bootleg shirts, and that's the one I got. I bought the Slayer Disciple jersey at. But here's my favorite design from the shirts that they had. Whoops, that's the reverse. Well, World Domination 2014. There you go. It's called the Three Skulls. It's really cool. So there you have it, guys and gals. The concert review for Slayer, Suicidal, Exodus, in Magnum, Utah. Thanks everybody for watching. Keep the vinyl spinning. Keep it metal. Play it loud. Play it long. Play it hard. And for those that are interested, I will have a slideshow of pictures from this show and the show last year that I will combine because I intended to but never did upload those, but I will combine them and make a slideshow and post it here. And that's all I have for everybody. Thank you for watching. Good night.
Kind of music. So that
now,
but that venue, I should say, I don't know how to put it. That they're not. Boy, their definition. When Rowdy, when there was a rush.
Yeah.
At the beginning of Exodus, there was nothing.
Oh, there was a rush during Exodus. I didn't even feel anything.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it. I mean, then there was nothing. And then they split.
Yeah.
And which was comical.
But they do that.
And there nothing happened.
Yeah.
Both bands did it.
Yeah.
Nothing happened. It's comical. I was right there. Nothing happened. Really.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, I could see a little bit behind me of that, and nothing happened. It was it just the security was weird. I mean, a girl actually got on stage and had to be pulled off by Slayer.
There was a cute little girl, little teeny bopper girl,
roadies,
and she was bebopping, and she was bouncing off one of the big pit crew guys. She was the cutest thing, and just doing her own thing, and she was cute as a button, and she just bounced off the guy's stomach. It was funny, and she was so cute. And she was just doing her own thing, and she had beautiful hair, and she just shaking it, and all this stuff, and he was just in a trance, and she just bounced off his stomach, and bounced all around him, and danced all around him, and he didn't know what to do. He didn't know what to do with her
because he probably had a hard on.
Probably. It was so funny just watching her, and I point at the couple I was with, I point her out, and we were all laughing at her, and she was just bebopping around him, and then she'd stop, and she was with some guy, And then she'd go around and do it again, you know. And then there was this big girl, big tits, big girl, gray long sleeve t-shirt, long blonde hair, and she'd do the same thing, and she'd bam right into him. And then another pit crew guy, and then she'd just bounce around to a bunch of guys and then run into him. And same thing. They didn't know what to do with her.
Yeah. The weirdest part, the whole thing, the surreal part, the really odd part was having Outlaw there. That doesn't make why they were there doesn't make any sense. Especially, you know, and why they were there wearing their cuts.
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Because that you're not supposed to do that. You know, you go to like places we've been, that wouldn't have been allowed.
Well, there's a big poster over the entrance. No colors.
Yeah.
None of that stuff.
That was really strange. You're not. I wasn't afraid or anything. I was just shocked when I
walked out. Yeah, I saw him.
Because I exited. I went out the back way. You know, the balconies where we were earlier, but underneath on that bottom floor, I turned the corner and there's a shitload of
bikes.
You know,
and the guys.
Yeah, there was a shitload of them, and I'm like, you know, I'm just gonna, you know, I went past that Corvette that we saw on the side.
Red one.
Yeah, and then I cut into the parking lot, and then took it in the parking lot, and then cut back in to get around them, because it's you know, because of the way I am after a show, I'm just, you know, I'm not a good person to be around after a show because of how animated I get. So, it was just, you know, but it was just weird, you know.
Yeah. Well, here I am talking to a Mongol captain. That is just the strangest thing.
Yep.
Just because I'm wearing a Sturgis t-shirt.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought it was weird too. Oh well, it's a cool concert.
Yeah. Yep.
And we may not see him again. You never know.
Okay, so it happens to be Mother's Day, but that's not what this is about. It's 2 days after the Slayer show. I'm back home now after a challenging car trip with all the soreness. But there was a couple things that I didn't show in the concert review that I forgot about, and I'm going to show those. But I also have a question for you. Seeing as how I can't walk because my ankle on my right ankle is sore in 2 different places. My right thigh is sore. My right arm is sore in 2 different places. My right shoulder is sore. My left arm is sore in 2 different places. My side is sore. My back is sore. Obviously, my neck is sore. But I can't stop doing this. You know, there's something wrong with me, isn't there? You know, I can't, you know, lift my arms up to put a shirt on. That's why I'm doing this. I can't, you know, I can't put my neck through anything. But I'm, you know, I can't stop smiling. You know, I'm sore as shit everywhere. You know, I can't stop smiling. You know, how fucking sick is that? I'm really sick in the head. You know, so, yeah, that must be, there's something wrong with it. Well, you know, you guys know there's something wrong with me, but it's like, yeah, I'm sore all over the place. I can't stop smiling, you know. Funny thing is, you know, weaker crowd though this time, because you know, I pushed my way to keep my spot. I was on the rail from the beginning and pushed my way to uh, you know, I pushed my way. I pushed my way, and I've never been able to do that because I'm not that big of a guy. So that was interesting. But okay, I'll get to it. Now this uh, I actually saw a picture of this on the internet, and the tribute show. This was outside one of the record stores that I bought records from, and the one Slayer album that I bought, I will be showing. Um, but yeah, I saw this, and I saw this on the internet, saved it to my computer, and now I've got the actual poster. You know, just show you spend enough in your store, and you're polite about it. You know, they'll give you stuff, even though this was like a week old by the time I got there. The show had already happened, but yeah. But there was another thing that they were handing these out, and we were one of the first in line. We were like, you know, probably 10th or 12th in line. So we were there like 3 hours before the show, and I had a poster of the whole thing, which is really cool. And you know, yeah, it's like, you know, awesome show, but it's like, you know, unusual for where it was. It's like, Utah, come on, get crazy, get wild. You know, 5'6", 130 pounds, not supposed to be able to push his way through. You know, I'm supposed to be the one getting pushed around, and I did the pushing. You know, come on, guys, get crazy, get loud. Hey, very few crowds are up to my standard of crazy, but I even had to scream at people to get louder. But yeah, so there you go. I'll have more coming, and to all of you, especially the mothers who are Slayer fans. Yeah, happy Mother's Day, all that, and hail Slayer.